Welcome guys to another TeaTime Friday League Racing. This is Season 3, Round 1, and we're at Bahrain. Now, for all you guys out there tuning in, all I can say is thanks very much guys for tuning in. It'd be fantastic to hear what you think about the circuit, what you think about the new game, as it is completely new for this season. Right, I mean, just getting a game. Right, I'll just copy the text from this and then we're going to drop it in. Right, so at the beginning of the season we're going to go through the drivers because we have 19 people. We're waiting for one more, but who is DXT Umbra that we're waiting for, who drives for Alpine. So we're going to run through. So we've got everybody in. We've got DXT Nilmra. Right, so we do have non-human Crusher T in the Mercedes. In Red Bull we've got Flea and DXT Matty. In fourth we have in the McLaren we do have Amir and Cons. We have in the Aston Martin DXT Nevo with DXT Iceman, our reigning clean driver of the season. We have in the Alpine we have Shiru and Nilmra. We have DXT Anthony and DXT Hobo in the Ferrari. Sorry guys. So in the AlphaTauri we've got Dara and DXT Umbra. We've got Big Weir and King's Home in the Alfa Romeo. Now I'm going to be watching Alfa Romeo because that looks like a team that could be climbing up to near the top. We've got Freedom and Frenzy in the Haas. We've got Liam and Panda in the Williams. So some new drivers, some drivers that we haven't seen before. So we've got Wild Gamers saying hi guys. Hi Will. Will, how's it going? We've got Valkyrie going alright guys, and we've got Umbra going hello guys. So hi guys, thanks for joining us. Yeah, just let us know what you're feeling about the game, what you're expecting from the race today. Big Weir saying that Big Weir guy looks fast. Well, I've heard good things about Big Weir, I will say that. So we'll start with the qualifying, which is 18 minutes of qualifying. Now, being with we've got a full grid, so timing is critical. Just a little heads up to you for you guys out there. We're going to put the tyre information up because some people will choose to start on the mediums, others will start on the softs. Let's have lap data and let's get that track map up. Okay, so we are with non-human at the moment, who's not the first car out. Who is I've gone all the way through, and I think it's Freedom. Freedom is leading the way. So Freedom, non-human's brother, the McClay brothers, out leading the outlaps. So Frenzy there, who I've got to say is a driver to watch as well. Teammate of Freedom. Now Freedom has proven that he is a podium fighter. So Valkyrie going, who will win the drivers and constructors this season? Now, right, this is going to be tough because if I've got to balance the fact that we've got new drivers that I don't know much about. We've got drivers who started off badly in the last season and got better and better, who progression should have carried on. We've got drivers out there that have dropped because of the new game. Now, I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to stick with either Dara or DXT Anthony to be taking the drivers. it depends on Hobo. If Hobo does well, then we could be seeing the Ferrari taking the constructors, which will be the first time they've done that in possible years. We've got Speedy saying hello. Speedy going potentially be back for next week. Hopefully you will be, Speedy, because you don't want to let some of these drivers get too far ahead of you. A lot of things have gone on over the last few weeks, so the whole new game. I just don't know where to start. But what we'll do our usual thing. Let's find Nevo. Let's get onto Nevo. He's on an outlap at the moment, and we'll jump on board with him. Let's take everything away, and we'll leave his lap time up there because it'd be quite nice to see. So he's the Aston Martin. Absolutely fantastic looking car. Not technically British Racing Green, even though people do believe it. Now I'm going to start a lap rundown as we are heading down the start finish straight. Now this circuit is one of the crowd favourite circuit. Everybody loves it for some reason. I can see why it's brilliant. As we go around Schumacher corner of turn 1, nicely tightly done there. Around turn 2 and then on to turn 3 now. Dixon either better do well because we are game sharing, so he better show that this is quite well. As fast as that goes, so 126.55 for freedom. And round turn 4, nicely done through the S-bends of 5, 6 and 7 here, lining himself up for a tight right-handed turn 8. And this is one of those corners you've got to be careful of that curve because it just throws you off. Up round turn 9. Turn 9 is one of those corners that you actually want to go a little bit wide. Around turn 10, the slowest corner of the circuit, and then onto the onto the second DRS straight, or third depending on how you look at it. I'd say second because it's the second one to start in the circuit. Around turn 11 and 12, this is death curve here on the right hand side. Around turn 13, now this is where you'll see a lot of people trying to make the last lunge overtake, because you're not going to overtake down 14 and 15 at the bottom here. Nice long straight. I would have thought this would have been the DRS straight rather than the one between 10 and 12, 10 and 11, but each to their own in that. As we go around the corner, nice sweeping through. Let's have a look as it goes start finish straight and gets himself into 5th at 126.6. Nice time there from Dix Nevo. Let's have a look. If we've got a driver that I'm not right, so Liam's on an outlap. Let's have a look. So not human with 125.6 taking top pole. We've got Cons in second, 126.2. Hobo 126.3. Absolutely fantastic performance from Hobo. Looking really strong there. We've got Freedom on a 126.5. Nevo 126.6. Iceman on 127.1. So a bit of a jump there between those sets of drivers. Nevo and Iceman half a second between the two drivers. I will be expecting that to close up when Iceman gets to grips of this game and just progresses as he does all the time. Dixie Nilmer 127.1, so they're quite close there. Big Weir 127.2. I'm hoping for a bigger performance. Now Kingston 127.4, not like him. Maybe it's a new game. Maybe it's just the fact he's on those medium tyres and he's just not getting them to work. Let's jump on board of him. Is it? Let's see how he does on this sector 1. Now I know Kingston can do really well on the circuit, but it could be the medium tyres. But then I'm not too sure. There is a problem in sector 3. Big Weir just getting out of the way from Amir. Amir, another quick driver. Now let's jump on board with Amir as he comes around the final bends. Let's see how he does. Well, game is that he can't get to the grips with the game, and Amir with 125.2 absolutely smashed us it there. So Amir really showing his hand here and could be doing quite well. We're still waiting for DXC Anthony to put up a time, and we do have a slow car, and I believe that would be just get out of the way. Well done. I think it's absolutely fantastic that the drivers are doing this. absolutely brilliant. So we've got Dixie Anthony coming around. It's because we've had the final few corners. We've got 11 minutes left of qualifying, so plenty of time for drivers to put into fast laps as he jumps into fourth. Now could be new game jitters because he is a second behind Amir. Now that's quite amazing. So a little bit of the circuit, now everybody knows the circuit is based in Sakhir in Bahrain, with multitude of layouts. Now you've got the Sakhir outer ring, you've got the inner ring, which start finish straight is on that straight between 10 and 11. Now well, let's stick with Freedom because we're expecting Freedom to jump back up again because he did start on the medium tyres last time. Let's see what you can do on those soft tyres. So you got the wiggly one, you got the one where it goes around the outer circuit, then cuts back round before it hits the top straight, goes back across, comes right back in at turn 5, and then follows the GP circuit. So that's the long circuit. It'd be great if F1 could incorporate the variation circuits, as Freedom does purple sector, sector 1, and we do have a Williams that way. Now if you're looking at the map, you can see there's a lot of blue and bluey greens. Does not help with your eyes. You won't be, I can't tell you which one's which looking at that map, whether it's a Haas of white, the dark blue are Red Bull, so the lighter blue is Williams. We've got the dark aqua, which is Aston Martin. We've got the light aqua, which is Ferrari, not Ferrari, sorry, Mercedes. I'm just lost for words, so sorry guys. Alpine there with the pale blue. That's, see, it's just gonna be confusing now for that map. Neil Murray does get out the way. Big Weir, let's see what Big Weir can do now. Come on, Big Weir, prove your big mouth that you can do this. So Speedy saying he's awful at this game now. I'll be honest, I've only raced competitively on F2 cars, and they're not good. So let's see how that pans out for us. Well, for me, for over the season, if I do manage to jump into an F1 league sometime. Yeah, so Big Weir now. Where is he? Where is he? He is coming around turn 8 now. He does have that. Yeah, just wow. I'm just watching as it seems like he's come off the pedal a bit there, a bit too early there, going through turn 10. Let's see how it goes through turn 11. Brake downshifting so quickly there, given 10, 12 degrees of space, so he doesn't hit that inner depth curve. Clips the curb there on turn 13 as he hammers it down to turn 14. Now we are expecting times to drop very quickly because these drivers are getting more and more used to these cars. Setups will be getting more and more developed over time. And he Big Weir puts a 125.8, so we got Freedom 125.2. We have Amir 125.2, so very close between the two top drivers there. Non-human up there was 125.6 and Big Weir 125.8. Fleet up there in 5th, 126.0. Now that's where I'm expecting Kingsholm to be. I will be jumping on with Kingsholm in a moment, because Kingsholm and Flea, I would say they are have similar abilities when it comes to racing. They always tend to have very similar times. Now guys, just throw it out there, this season marks a development when it comes to the awards. Now I'm going to speak to DXC Hobo afterwards about setting up a drivers voting channel. So basically after each race, drivers will get to vote who their driver of the race is. So they get to choose their driver of the race. Now at the end of that, we'll also ask driver of the season. Now we'll incorporate their driver of the season and the driver of the days up and we'll match it off a bit similar to the way aggregate works, if you get me. We'll give them a score and we'll add them up and we'll see how drivers fit. That way then we'll also give a prize up for the driver's driver of the season and also the commentator's driver of the season. So the commentator's driver of the season will be based on clean driving, competitive driving, that kind of thing. So you don't have to be the best, you just have to be clean and competitive. In my eyes, where driver's driver depends on where the drivers see fit. Now, I'm getting that right. 1 second, guys. I'm going to see if I can invite Matty. Alright, send an invite to Matty, and you should have got that. Right, so let's have a look as we're running down. We're coming to near the end of qualifying. It's like he's got a lot of drivers out there who are slowing down. We've got 5 minutes left, so we're going to have a quick rundown. So we've got Freedom, provisional pole 125.2. We have Amir 125.2. They're very, very close between these two drivers. They are swapping the pole position between them two. Non-human 125.6. We've got Big Wheel 125.8. Kingstone's up there where I thought he would be with his teammate 125.9. So told you Alfa Romeo could be up there. Dara there sitting in 6th, so I'm not too sure what's going on with Dara, but it could be the fact that this game is a bit more tougher. Flea there is 126.0. We've got Herbert 126.1, Collins 126.2. We've got Dixie Anthony 126.2, Umbra 126.4. We got Neva 126.6. We've got Nimber 126.7. Iceman 127.1. Shavu 127.1. We've got Crusted T 127.6. We've got Liam there with 127.6, and we've got Panda with a 129.8. Fancy and DXT Matty still yet to score, to post up a time. So DXT Matty is back in, and he will have just a little bit of time to get that done. Let's have a look. Let's get on board with Panda. Let's see if Panda can improve. He's stuck on a medium set of tyres. I'm not too sure whether that's he's aiming to get top 10 with that, but let's see how he does it, whether he's backed off the soft tyre. Oh, he's done an Ari. He spun that car. The great thing about it, he waited. And the unfortunate thing, he spun at the wrong place. Now, driver behind him, I do believe, is his teammate, who is also on a flying lap. Now, would Panda be backing out of this? Gone very, very wide there, and he's invalidated because of that turn. Yeah, turn 4 is a bit of one of those nuggets that you need to hit perfectly. So we've got Lexi just saying, who was the one who advised me to get Matty back. So Lexi, let me know what you think of the game. Obviously, I don't know if Dan's allowed you to have a go, give it a go or anything like that, but yeah, tell me what you think. I'm still not too sure, driving wise, commentary wise. It looks a little bit cleaner. And Krusty T has retired from the session, obviously in the pits, I would like to believe. So we have a few dire cars, or quite a lot of cars have jumped out for an out lap now. And if they're not on an out lap now, I don't think they'll manage it. No, Freedom's just gone in, so he's got a 125.1. No, so Amir really needs to get edge those little bits to get that bit closer. Dixie Hobo has retired. And Dixie Matty's joined again. Now, I'll be honest. I'm with this game. I'm gonna hold my breath and can't wait for the new sets to come out. Hopefully that we'll get some patches to sort out a few of the little issues. But other than that, it should be all good. Alright, so let's run down these guys. Any changes? We've got top 5 are all good. Dara's cutting the grass, lost a bit of front wing. And he's staying out of the way. Well done, Dara. So he's going to start 6. Oh, he's lost a big chunk of wing there. Get out of the way, Dara. We've got cars coming in. And well done, Dara. Out of the way. So who have we got coming around? Oh, non-human has invalidated that lap. So Amir is one we're going to be watching. We have Big Weir coming around. Let's have a look and see where Big Weir finishes off. Because Cons has managed to jump Kingsholm. And Kingsholm is in 7th. Flea has managed to get into 4th. Well done by Flea. Big Weir holds 5th. We've got Dara who's invalidated. We have Nilmer. Okay, I just seen a car crash out and I think that was Nevo. I think it was Nevo that crashed out there. Dixie Umbra has jumped into 7th, so Kingsholm, even though he put in a good time earlier, is now slowly slipping down. We have Sharu. Now, I think Sharu backed off there. And we're just waiting for Dara. Dara. Have you seen that? That looks... wow. That car looks absolutely done for. Losing the back end there. And Dara is disqualified for the session for driving the wrong way. So here we go, quick rundown. So we've got Freedom in as the pole winner. We have Freedom as the pole winner. Amir in 2nd, non-human 3rd, Flea 4th, Big Weir in 5th. We've got Cons in 6th, Umbra in 7th. We've got Kingsholm in 8th, Herbo in 9th, Anthony in 10th. We've got Nilmer in 11th, Nevo in 12th. We've got Liam in 13th, Iceman in 14th, Sharu in 15th. We've got Krustia, T is 16th. We have Panda in 17th, Frenzy in 18th, DXT Matty in 19th, and Dara, who stupidly disqualified himself, is starting at the back. So we are just waiting for a few players to finish off their last little touches, make sure they pick the right tyres. Tyre choices, medium to soft, I would say, would be the option people would want to go for. Well, again, we're happy with P11. I'll be honest, if I got P11, I'd be over the moon, personally. Obviously, you're saying that you're struggling with the game, so yeah, I can understand that. As we are starting the formation lap. The formation lap is vital for the drivers out there to warm up those tyres, warm up the brakes, get some heat into the engine, because you will see that the heat in the engine is actually the toughest part to do. But if you're sitting behind someone, just sit in the exhaust fumes and it will help. As we got Frieda now leading the pack around turn 4. Predictions for this race, I think Amir might clinch it. I think he's more consistent as a driver. Now, driver predictive strategy here at the moment is saying soft, soft, hard, soft, medium, hard. I don't think a 2-stop is the way forward. Let's details. Top 10 all going soft. Then from then it's got Nilma medium, Neva medium, Liam hard, Iceman medium, Shrew hard, Crusted Tea, Panda both on medium, Frenzy on hard, Matty and Dara on mediums. Now, never been a fan of the hard tyres, but hard seems to be a strong performer, especially around here to last the length. But then a lot of these drivers with the tyre pressures, they drop them right down, so they get a lot of good initial grip, but the tyres do fall away a lot quicker. Now we do have 29 laps of what I hope would be a sensational race. So let's drop all the information, everything. Let's have a clear view of this start. So we have our drivers lining up on the grid. Let's quick shuttle down. So here we go, wait for the lights. Da -da 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 -da. Anticipation, waiting, drivers geared up for this start, as we're just waiting patiently for these lights. Still see a few bits jostling around. See with the cars edging around, that's a show of mixed connection. So you can see the Williams and the Red Bull at the back. There we go, Matty's left and there's 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. So there's a good start there by a lot of drivers. There's no initial. Oh! Dara. Don't even know what happened there. Dara's just crashed into the wall. And is that brought. That's brought a virtual safety car out. And we've got collisions back and forth with a few drivers. We've got Lear who's been spun out, Cons who's been spun out. Crusted Tea with a penalty. Drive-through penalty for Panda for ignoring yellow flags. Now these can be taken off if the stewards believe so. This is a very, very rough start. Matty with a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. So fleeing non-human, I've got penalties, and hopefully it looks like they haven't got any damage. Soft, medium is coming up for, or soft, medium for non-humans. Tyre strategy there. It's a bit of a bizarre call there with the virtual safety car. All thanks to Dara's spin-off. So Conze will have to get a wing change. As Flea is coming with Flea in second, but we know Freedom was the guy who's in the lead. I would have thought with a new game they would have fixed this. I know it's not me with the desync because my signal is amazing. And here we go. I think, yeah. I like the fact that they do the time screens update as drivers go through the timing switchboard. And Colin's having a bit of hash there. He's spun around. I should have had Hobo's little Have I Spun playing in the background there, but we'll leave that out. But this has been a bizarre start already. So Cons and his teammate are on polar ends of the scale. This is a bit like Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo at the beginning, where Lando Norris is doing absolutely phenomenal, and Danny Rick was struggling at the beginning in the McLarens. So it'd be quite nice to see how they do. As time goes out and time boards all over the place. Absolutely bonkers. So we are expecting a few battles up. It seems like the car drivers are settled into the routine, and we've got the two Ferraris here are chasing nose to tail. So let's jump on board with DXC Anthony as we see if he can make an overtake on his teammates. Now, and Hobo gets a time penalty. I could not have seen where he would have got that. Jumping on board with him, I could not see any time when Hobo was off track. Now this is where my issue. I don't think the track limits are exactly right. I think they're not as well, and DXC Anthony fighting the oversteer there. They're losing a bit of gap there because Kingsholm is opened up a gap. I can't even work out the time between these drivers because look at there we go. So Amir now looking to get this overtake done onto, non-human there, making up strides there. He did pick up fastest lap. Right, let's have a look. Let's bring up penalties. Now, CRL Panda, he should be serving his drive-through penalty. He will need to serve that very soon. Crusted Tea. So DXC Anthony is still not connected, so and I think he's just being lapped by everybody right now. Right, so what I've noticed now is like because of the depth curve of turn 12, a lot of drivers are keeping well aware of that and keeping well away, as CRL Panda has done his drive-through penalty. Let's see where the battles are, guys. Where's the battles? we have no real battles. We have Flea closing in a big way, but Flea has got that 5-second penalty. As Amir has made a little contact there between Amir and Freedom. As Amir has made that move up into first, a non-human is catching up with his brother. This is going to be a fantastic battle between these three drivers. I do think these are going to go all the way for the battle. Non-human has to like open up a gap behind him. He's already opened up 3 seconds. He needs another 2 to keep a podium position. So I've just seen Lexi's message that they try and race on this one. 1 turn I'm in the wall. Well, to be honest, I completely agree. I'm 1 lap and I'm in the wall usually. I can't last 5 lappers. I really can't. I find it really hard. So this battle for the top 3 here is hotting up. Amir, Freedom, non-human, all within a second. And non-human drafting off his brother. As Amir looks like he's opening up that gap a bit more. And non-human picks up another tap. I really don't. And Nilmer's DNF'd. Right, that was weird because that just popped up right in the middle of the front 3 battle. So we have a few people in the lobby now, guys. If you're just listening in, just give us a shout out. Let us know how you're thinking about the game. We've got Umbra now, who is looking to make the move on Flea. At DXT Umbra, we may have a little bit of things like he might be moving on to another esports team. So we wish him all the best with that. But hopefully he'll still be racing with us. Well, okay, the car keeps spinning for no reason in high-speed corners. You know, I can understand that, mate. Yeah, it's one of those things that like the game is. I found the same thing for me. I couldn't handle that high-speed corners and and Kingsholm's done this. Kingsholm's done the exact same thing as Nilmer's done. Kingsholm has spun out on a high-speed corner, and there was nothing there for it to happen. It was not. I would not say it was his fault, but it's just that he's now having to jump into the pits. And it was a bit of a desync there from DXD Hobo, but this. Is this the right time to be pitting? If you're on those soft tyres, it might be. So Kingsholm might be. It might be a best time for him to do that. As you can see, the tyre doesn't look too bad. And all I've got is try to go on DXD Hobo, and all I've got is his pit box. There we go, we're back with him. Now, with the first round of pit stops gone through, not everybody's pitted yet. We're still waiting for the front. Well, waiting for Amir to pit. He might come in now. He will have to think about that soon because Freedom's catching up. You can see the blister line there on his front left tyre. Absolutely right there. Wild Game has just put a very good point there on here. It's like, so he spent the last game working hard to get himself up there on top of everything. New game comes out and the setups are completely different. So your classic setups that you would think that would work from the last game don't work for this game. So you're having to work from scratch again. even though the cars are meant to be very much similar, I think there's little adjustments. Downforce works slightly different with the new floor, but there's not much more different really. As DXC Iceman was quite respectful there with Freedom. Let's have a look at the pit. The tyre, so like Amir still on 7 lap old soft tyres. I think he's going to push her a bit harder, a bit longer, and go for the one stop onto mediums. I think he could do that. He could easily do another 2 laps on those soft tyres by the looks of him. He's got 17 seconds onto the driver behind him, who is slowly catching up. Let's see what Amir does now. As we do have a safety car. Herbo's out! Oh my goodness, I can't believe I missed Herbo spinning. Oh. Have I spun? Have I spun? I'm out. Herbo, if you're listening, just jump in. Let me know if you want to jump in with on the comms with me. Let me know what happened. Might be quite good for you to join us. So that was interesting. So that'll be quite interesting to see what happened to Herbo. Let's see if he replies. Regarding joining me for comms. Now, we've had some drastic driving from some drivers, so the safety car is out. This has not been good for Amir. So Amir's dropped down to 3rd. He's on those hard tyres. He's gone for the one stop. DXC Iceman. He's going to lose. DXC Iceman's going to lose that a lot if he pits now. Alright, so bear with me while I jump into the... Let's see if I can jump into the other parties. 1 second. Hello, Hobo.
Hello, Jeff. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. Thanks for joining me. So,
no worries, man.
Right, first of all, let me know what happened.
So, coming, obviously, I had the VSC, coming to the pitch, changed my tyres. Coming out, it was very cold. Got, so I had a mini spin at the Sector 2 death curb. Not the S's, just after that. I had a little spin on the hairpin. Went round again, the tyres really overheated. And then when it got round to that section again, just like Sector 2, got on the curb a bit too much and basically just planted into a wall. As we've on board with Freedoms now, so I got onto this curb here and it sent me into the arm code. You can see the little barriers over there.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen the aftermath. I was like wondering what happened. But
it wasn't a huge impact. I thought, because I was quite slow when I hit it, but it's just one of them things. I hit it quite straight on as well, so the whole wing went, and then the tyre just flew off.
Yeah, I think the game now is still a bit more. It's like delicate rather than where it was a bit more robust when you hit on the nose directly on the nose. Yeah. Whereas now it's a bit more flimsy. But how are you enjoying the new game anyway?
It's not too bad. It's obviously we're testing out a few things today. At the moment they're fixed on standard, so like the safety car's on standard. There's no simulation damage, all that kind of stuff is as it was last season. So depending on how the safety car is in this game, we're going to maybe reduce it or increase it depending on how we feel. At the minute, I waited after 10 laps. We've had what, one full safety car and 2 VSCs.
Yeah,
So I think it's probably about right, to be honest. But
yeah.
the game it's not too bad. These curbs are absolutely horrible to handle, and then obviously the glitch at the start of the race, where Matty couldn't get back in. That was frustrating because on the grids, because I got my wheel, I can see my tyre temps, and my tyre temps was cold by the time we started the race, so it's a bit frustrating.
Yeah, I've noticed there is quite a few bugs with it still. Hopefully they iron them out really soon as the safety car is back in and we're back racing. Got predictions, and how do you see who just think's going to be contending for driver?
I'll tell you, driver of the day, that is going to be a shout and a half. Cons was doing fantastic. I'm not sure what's happened to him. I think he's obviously pitted on the safety car, which is why he's obviously now in 15th. But he was driving fantastic. As I see, there's a bit of contact there with DXT Matty. Oh, it's Sharu, sorry. Sharu. Is DXT Matty back in? Did he get back in or not?
I don't think he did. Because the car keeps moving out of the way for everybody.
He's been lapped as well. Yeah, he's not in the race anymore.
No. But again, see, I've for drive at the moment, I've seen
Amir and Non-Human side by side, along with DXT Iceman. This is going to be a nasty one. They come round that a horrible corner. I can't stand that corner at all.
10-10 is ridiculous. Now, I've seen some fantastic battling between Freedom, Amir and Non-Human throughout this race. These 3 drivers were just, before the first, the second virtual safety car, they were just battling it out. Pit stops, when they started doing the pit stop strategy, I thought Amir was going to open up the gap. But the safety car came out and it kind of held him back a bit.
Apparently, Anthony's lost a load of front wing. Yeah, he has. DXT Anthony, Jake has lost a lot of front wing there. Not sure what's happened to him.
Panda just spun round again. Now, Panda's really struggling to keep this car under wraps right now.
Panda's a very new driver. He's joined his first season with us. He's not having the best of times by the looks of it, so he's not enjoying his races at the moment. Hopefully he gets into it during the season. Yeah,
I'll just take a little bit of time, and he'll be. I'm sure he'll be back on it, no problem.
Big Weir is going side by side with Iceman and overtaking him, so Iceman dropped from 2nd to 4th now.
Big Weir's a new guy for the league, and DXT Anthony has retired from the session. I think that damage was a bit too much for him, and he's bowed out. But we never know. We never know.
It's a shame, yeah, it was a shame. It would have put right at the back.
Oh! I just see someone shoot off.
Nevo. It's Nevo. Nevo's out as well.
I'll be honest, I was going around I was looking at Krusty T. I was just about to make a comment, and then all I just seen was this blur just at the top of the screen just shoot off. Oh wow. So that's another one bites the dust.
Possibly another one to come into the comms chat. Let's have a little message to see if he wants to come in and talk about what happened. He might have insight as well on Anthony.
Yeah. No, we do have.
It's a very funny game to get used to. It's a very funny game.
Well, Non-Humans managed to make a pass on Amir, so he's now up into 2nd, but he still has that 5-second time penalty on his head. So he needs to work hard really, because Big Weir and Flea are in reaching distance of that, and DXT Iceman could also do, but DXT Iceman's put those medium tyres up onto 12 laps, and he's doing a fantastic job with them.
Big Weir is one of my new friends, my new best mates, Big Weir.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know, my second name is also Weir. there's no relationship we have checked. Oh yeah, so he's got the same second name as me, which is quite strange. And
do you know where the name Weir comes from?
It's the name of a river, well, like a fishing river.
Kind of.
It's some sort of ford, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, it's basically a bank that's just underneath a running river, used for crossing or slowing down a river. But that's it. It's like a mini waterfall, really, if you look at it. But yeah, it's actually quite a common surname in Western Europe.
See, I've never seen it in. I've seen Scottish. I've seen a lot of weird Scottish words. I've never seen another Northern Irish word that wasn't related to me. So it's quite funny having a Northern Irish word as well. So they're having a good day as well. Fourth place. They're doing good for the Weir clan.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I actually had a little bit of a worry about him. I thought he was going to be a bit lower down at the beginning of the qualifying because he was qualifying quite low, and then all of a sudden he just pulled this qualifying session out. He was up there with Fleet or with Kingsholm. So one of those
overtaken as well by Kingsholm, as he's got DRS and overtake fully on. Kingsholm done well there to also block off Umbra from having an attack. We have more yellow flags ahead, and I believe that is Panda, and it is just going to move out of the way, I believe there.
Yeah.
And as we go, Umbra having a little run now on DXT Kingsholm. The two DXT members having a little go at each other. Kingsholm's going to hold around the outside, or Willie, because Umbra is going to sweep round in front, but they go side by side, still through the S's. This is close fighting. Very good. DXT Kingsholm has the back out there and give Umbra the place. So well done, these two drivers. A lot of respect.
Absolutely brilliant clean racing there. Now, Kingsholm did have a nasty little accident at the end of lap 7. Took off his whole front wing, so I'm actually quite surprised that he's still up there in the top 10.
Yeah, it was right in front of me. I did see it as I was driving along.
Yeah, quite surprising that he's actually managed to get himself back up there, and he is clawing time for the top runners.
Because a VSE came out, and I did kind of help him because he was, as we were leaving, the VSE ended as Panda gets another penalty there, and then obviously the safety car come out, so he kind of was saved by that safety car of me coming out, me DNFing myself.
Yeah, it's saved, but like even so, it might have saved him, but also it's still, you wouldn't expect him to be that far up after that kind of shunt before a safety car.
No, definitely not.
You would expect him to lose a lot of places due to the repairs, but absolutely fantastic for him to actually pull that out. And Flea's having a fantastic race as well. So
Liam and Krusty T, I've just had a little switch around as Sharu tries to go around Krusty T as well. Krusty T is I say a new driver. He was a reserve last year. I think he joined very end of the last season, so we're a bit unknown to him as he tries to defend late against Sharu, but can't. He takes that Liam in the process. Liam is a returner to the TTFL League as well. Raced in Season 1, and he's now back for Season 3, which is good to see someone returning. As Umbra and Kingsholm are still fighting, we're now joined by everyone else really. Everyone's really piled up to the back of this.
Yeah, this is what we want. We want the drivers to be battling out very closely together. I'm still keeping my eye on this for the two McClay brothers.
Oh. Yeah, so these two were actually meant to be teammates at the start of the season. They were meant to be teammates, and for some reason or another, they decided just after the allocation, or just before the allocation of the cars, that they were going to split up and do their own thing. So not entirely sure what happened there, but yeah, so it's a shame really, because they would have been 1 and 2 right now. And
yeah,
good points as safety cars come out. Oh no! Oh, non-human was in 2 minds of to go into the pits, and he's hit into the wall.
Oh my goodness!
My God, that was a really big mistake from him.
I can't believe that just
gone
happened.
Out as well. That's what's called the safety car there. Panda has come out, but I just can't believe what we just seen. I was on board.
I was watching for the broadcast comment. Now everybody's jumping in. This is an absolute sweet opportunity. What do you think? A fresh set of mediums? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely mediums. I think it's well too early for softs. So I think a fresh set of mediums, if they've got them. We might see some guys like Iceman. Obviously, Iceman's due to pit, so he would go onto the soft tyres. He needs to go onto that softer compound anyway. But yeah, as you can see, everyone is choosing either the, or mostly the medium tyres, and a couple of hard runners have jumped in as well. It's a very interesting one, that is. I would have gone for mediums if I had them. Yeah. It all depends on what these drivers are doing, I suppose.
Obviously, Iceman couldn't go mediums when he started on them.
This is the big shame for Freedoms and Amir though. They've just missed that pit stop. So if they want to pit, they're going to be at the back of the grid.
Yeah, but it's like, would Freedom's medium tyres get them to the end?
Oh yeah, they definitely will. I think Amir as well. Obviously, the hards definitely get to the end from there. Amir, Freedoms, I believe they will get to the end. I think he pitted about the same time I did, and they will be getting to the end quite happily, I believe. especially under the safety car as well. Because obviously you've got to feel like on the safety car, the tyre wear would be a lot less than an actual race situation. You just got to hold off the attacks from the likes of Weir, Flea, Umbra, Kingsholm as well, and Iceman is going to come up from this pack.
Yeah. Now, Iceman's got a less opportunity now with those soft tyres. He's either got to think that he's going to have to go back in the pits at some point to put a fresh set of soft tyres, or he's going to have to nurse them to the limit. Which,
yeah, it will be a definite nursing job, I believe. It's going to be hard for him.
I know you can get 10 laps out before they really do hit the cliff. So after the safety car, you're looking at 11 laps, 12 laps on those tyres. Is it enough? It's gonna be tough to see, but I'm sure you'll be able to do it, as Freedom has jumped into the pits. It's a very tough call, but he's jumped in and he's losing a lot of places because everybody's bunched up.
He's going to be at the back. He's going to be behind the lapped car of DXT Matty as well, the AI car, which is even worse because obviously the AI car doesn't really react the same way as a human would. They're kind of a bit divvy, best way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a big shame for him. So he is now in 12th place.
He's got in front of him. Oh no, he hasn't.
No.
Oh, he's lapped. It's lapped. I was like, no. It's like, yeah. That's very unfortunate.
We've spoken about it before. If we had the ability to DNF a car, DNF DXT Matty's car, just get him out of the way, black flag him. But yeah, unfortunately, he's just got to be another car for Freedom to just try and get past. He's trying his best to try and see if he can slip past him. I don't believe he will have much luck, to be honest. He'll probably get told to give the place back, although it does seem... Has he done it? No, he's been told to give the place back.
He's edged to see whether you can get it or not.
Yeah, you've got to be very careful. He's doing little darts just to make sure, but I think he will be getting told by Jeff to give that place back.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we go. So after, 2 safety cars, 2 VSCs I believe we've had, or 1 VSC?
2 VSCs.
2 VSCs, yeah. So Amir leading the way, Big Weir in 2nd, Flea in 3rd, Umbra in 4th, Kingsholm in 5th, Iceman in 6th, Frenzy in 7th, Shrew in 8th. Obviously Shrew is a reserve driver, so he will be stricken from the record. So I'll push up Krusty T to 8th, Cons to 9th, Liam to 10th, Freedom to 11th, and Matty obviously will get stricken as well, as he is basically not been racing the whole time.
Yeah. So safety car's going back in. Amir really holding up the pack. He's not holding up as much as what we've seen other drivers hold them up. He has still got a bit of pace on him. As he's coming around the final corner. I thought he was going to launch then, but he's got to give.
He's got to be very careful. He's followed safety car really tightly there.
Yeah, and
he's gone. He has caught Big Weir slightly unawares because Weir was in a bit of a snake. Yeah,
big Weir. You just waited for him to go a bit wide, and then kind of just went. Because Flea is not. Oh, a little bit wheel to wheel there. Is Flea got to get second? Because Big Weir does give Flea a lot of space there.
Flea gets a bit of towel. Flea gets a bit of unstuck.
There's a few cars that got.
Overtake him.
There's a few cars that got caught up with him there, with Flea there. Was Chavrou's up there with him.
Yeah, Chavrou's made the most of that restart there. Nevo, how are you? Sorry, how are you doing?
Bloody annoyed, mate. I have a rule, right? My rule is, I don't like the hard tyres, I should never use them. What do? New game, I'll try the hard tyres out. How did that end out for me? They take too long to heat up, man. If I ever use a hard tyres, it's got to not be under a safety car. I just can't, I'm not used to my wheel enough to nah. It's so annoying.
That is a big shame. Also going to say, what happened to Jake as well? He seemed to have a bit of a wing issue.
Oh, Krusty T just came up the inside of him in Frenzy. I think Jake had the wing damage before this, but then just T-boned Jake off. Yeah, he just came flying up the inside and I think knocked him and Jake and Frenzy off. And then Jake just lost. He has clipped it though.
Yeah, it's obviously sending it to the stewards. It's going to be a coupling for the stewards, I believe, because there was a bit of shenanigans in the qualifying we noticed. So that will be looked at by the stewards as well.
Yeah. What happened to non-human? I thought he was in second and then...
So non-human, basically...
He crashed into the pit.
Yeah, so the Panda, sorry, 1 second, as Freedom's is making an amazing overtake past 2 drivers, Liam and Krusty T, round that first straight. That was unbelievable into the first corner.
I just caught the end of that. I was brave move. That corner's
That
quite
was
tough.
extremely
And
brave. Threaded the needle.
Umbra's out. He's retired in the
Yeah,
pits.
Umbra's retired in the pits. Not had a good day. So yeah, so Panda had a bit of a mishap somewhere around this area where we are, basically where the majority of the cars are now, which caused a safety car, as the guys were coming round basically past the pit lane, pit entry. Non-humans made the last minute attempt to jump into the pits. He actually was going to make it, then decided better of it and tried to change direction last minute and hit the wall.
Okay.
So I think if he would have just made the decision and went into the pit, he would have probably been alright. But he might have got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane, as we're going to see, or we're going to see Iceman have a little attack there.
We've got Chevroux, who's all over the back of Kingsholm.
Yeah, it really does. Like human centipede, I thought they'd have a little contact there, as Flea tries to make the most of that as well. But Flea's fallen out really badly. Bad
Gordon Lee,
move from
Flea's
there.
managed to get past Flea in that.
That was a good move. I was hoping those tyres last them to the end now.
Yeah. I thought because I realised, because obviously I spun out, I was in front of him and I spun out and he got up there and I saw him like up in 3rd or 4th or something. And then when I crashed out I managed to see they hadn't pitted yet. And then I realised he was going to go for the medium soft. I think that safety car might make it worthwhile.
The late break of...
Contact!
Oh no!
Oh no, he took out Flea as well! No, that was Freedom's! Oh my gosh! Massive crash!
Oh no, there's a... Oh dear.
Oh no.
Whoa! How does Chevroux survive that?
Chevroux survived it, I don't know how, but he's taken Kingsholm, Liam, Freedom's with him. It's a big shame. He's a reserve driver.
Well, see, like, Chevroux and Kingsholm were side by side coming into turn 1.
Okay, we're going to have an issue now. Sorry guys, we're going to have an issue. Oh, okay, we're good.
So yeah, Kingsholm done a bit of late braking. Goes round the outside, brings the car back in on track. What didn't go off track, brings it back round to go round turn 2. Chevroux did have a bit of a lead. Then there was a little bit of a coming together. I think Chevroux just tried to take the corner a bit too tight and squeezed Kingsholm a bit. So a bit of 50-50, but more towards Chevroux, in my opinion.
What happened with the teammate though? Gordon Lee in 3rd currently.
It's a massive shame because it's when the reserve has done damage to drivers that are fighting for podiums and stuff. It's a big shame.
Yeah, because Kingsholm was sitting in 3rd.
Yeah.
At that point, Liam was sitting in 5th, 5th or 6th at that time, and Freedom was making those climbs through dead quickly. So we're looking at drivers that were potentially
drivers are all pitted, other than Iceman, who's now taken the lead of this race. So Iceman now going to be on 4-lap older softs. They're gonna be struggling to get to the end, I believe. I think he should have come into the pits, but he's decided better of it. Chevroux has stayed out. I'm surprised he's got no wing damage. He's got no damage whatsoever. And Amir will come out in 3rd.
See, Chevroux got hit on the back wheel, so it's all rear end damage. Whether the game's picked up the damage of the rear and we're not seeing it on the game, but yeah, you would have expected something more.
There's a lot of penalties as well. So I've got a little penalty check quickly because I'm seeing a few just popping up. 5 seconds for Chevroux, but obviously he's a reserve, so he'll get taken out anyway. 6 seconds for Con, and everyone else is a free, including Iceman and Prastiati.
Nice to see Lee up there actually, obviously currently 1st, but he's always quite consistent in the race. He just stays out of trouble, and then people fall out around him, and he ends up in really good position. So
our Sterling Moss clean driver winner from last year.
Yes. Yeah, well deserved.
It was definitely well deserved. It was very close. As I said, from what you were telling me, it was very, very close.
Yeah, there was a few drivers that could be up for contention, but he was like, I will be honest, he was head and shoulders for a while above drivers.
But really, at the moment, we only have 7 drivers that can score points left in this race. So obviously, taking out Chevroux and DXT Matty because they're not actually in the race. Technically, Matty's not in the race, and Chevroux is a reserve, which means that there's a lot of points on the table for these drivers. So some of these drivers, like for example Frenzy, who I don't believe scored many points last season, he probably might take a decent 7th place here. And technically, he's sitting in 4th.
Yeah, it really is. So just a couple of comments that's come through. We've got Wild Gamer feeling sorry for Non-Human because obviously that was caught on stream. Non-Human's like, yeah, got so close and tried to back out, but it was too late. So exactly how you described the Herbo.
Yeah.
So looks like a lot of drivers understanding the mistakes they've made, but it's just the start of the season. This is
it's the first
round one
of it's a slightly shorter season. This one, obviously. Actually, it's probably a good chance to really talk about that because we talked about it back and forth a lot, and if we kept it as the 20 tracks or 21 tracks, however it was, meant to be in the race, it would have meant we would have had to have a break just after Christmas and then come back for one race. So we decided to take the because we was going to leave in Australia, for example, and put Australia at the back of the grid, back of the calendar, like planned. But that would have meant the whole season would have been meant a 2-week break and then come back for one race, which would be kind of pointless. So the idea we've had is to just remove Australia altogether, and then the next season when we've got the new tracks out, fingers crossed, COVID is kind of behind us a little bit for real life races. But even if it's not, we're going to then try and get as many races in as we possibly can and sort of start the new game.
Yeah, I think it was the right thing to do, to be fair, because like you said, having that break and then coming back for one race is a bit demoralising. If we have that break, if we finish the season, have that break, we can have a break, then we can set up for the new season, and then we can crack on a little bit earlier. Then probably some other leagues will probably be starting, and get the whole thing going with the new tracks all included.
Yeah, the idea hopefully being that 2-week break will be our season gap between 3 and 4, and then New Year first week I think we're in the 7th, I believe, I'm entirely sure. I'll have to check my calendar, but that'll be the first race of the new season.
So safety car going back in. So DXT Iceman, I think he's doing another Amir. Really, he's still quite close to that safety car.
Yeah, he is.
He hasn't
led many safety cars. led many.
Sharu got a little bit close there, and
he's gone.
Oh, good jump! Nice. Great jump from Iceman.
Sharu tapped him at the. Sharu tapped him.
This is savage.
So obviously that will probably, if they don't hit again, that will be taken off the 5 seconds. So
was a good
kind of
restart
ignore that for the time being. That was a fantastic restart.
Yeah. And now
the best thing is
Sharu.
The best thing is, I said he has got Shrew behind him, who's under attack, and Shrew is one of the best defenders that we've probably seen, and one of the most aggressive as well. So I need to make the most of this, but Amir has made the most of Shrew's mistake there, and up into 2nd place.
Yeah, those fresh soft tyres against a set as mediums, there's no contest really. I will be expecting Shavu to drop down a few places.
I'm expecting Amir to get past Lee quite quickly as well. I mean, his softs are a few laps old, but those fresh ones, and Amir is really quick as well. So.
Yeah, Amir, when he finished last season, he finished really highly. I think the only reason why he didn't finish higher,
he missed quite a few races, didn't he?
He missed a few, didn't he?
Yeah, he missed quite a few races, but he was very, very quick.
But yeah, guys, you can see all of the past results and stuff like that in the Discord, the Friday League archive. They're all saved there, so you can.
And Amir switched down to the inside. Sorry, Hobo. He's going for the attack on Lee. Nice, easy overtake there. Had so much more traction off that corner. I think Lee could do about that. And Big Weir and Shrew are battling it out as well. Oh, but they've got Flea right behind them. This is going to be. It's made it to be quite an exciting finish actually with that safety car.
Yeah, it's brought them right in.
It's interesting as well because like.
Oh no, it's going to be. I thought Big Weir was about to get sandwiched then.
Contact as well between Big Weir and Flea.
Was it contact with Flea?
That's Shrew, sorry, that's Shrew. That's Shrew.
Flea backed off there at the last possible moment. There it was a good choice by Flea to make that break that a little bit earlier, as the wheel to wheel now with Big Weir. So the Scotsman take on the Northern Irish lad. Battle of the Gaelic Celts.
What's interesting at the table from last year, the top 4 drivers that finished last year are all out of this race. Anthony, myself, Matty and Ralphio. Amir, Flea and Lee are the next 3, and they are fighting basically for 1st, 2nd and 3rd without the fact that obviously Big Weir's new driver.
Well, Ralphio's DNF was a bit special. I think it was right at the beginning, start finish straight, just got off. It looked like he just lost traction, spun the car, and went straight into the pit wall.
Okay. He's trying full no assist, isn't he? So he probably wasn't used to. Obviously, with no traction control, you have to be so careful on the start. Or you just do that.
Jump on Iceman into second place.
Gets the job done, and now Iceman's going to be under attack from Flea. Flea's got really good traction off that corner now.
And he'll have DRS as well.
Nice and easy for him. Yeah. Oh, but
is he?
He's fighting back.
Although Lee's doing a good thing there, he's attempted to box him in, so like he might be able to get around him. Lee on the brakes, that was a very close move there from Lee. And he does the job, then fresh
gets the job done. Yeah. And now Shrew's going to look to get past Lee here.
Lee's got DRS as well, you can see Flea.
Yeah, and Shrew, Cons is trying to get up the inside. Oh no, Cons is round. I think he clipped the inside of the Shrew then, and then all that happens then is your car ends up spinning round.
Oh wow. This is a very entertaining end, even though we've lost more than half our drivers.
Yeah. I think a lot of this as well, it kind of shows the state of the game a little bit. Like, I've only done, what did I do, about 14 laps in this race, and I've maybe done 22 laps in total. Right, I've done my first practice like last night, and in time trial the curbs didn't seem that savage, but you're on soft tyres, you've got full grip, but as soon as you have a bit of fuel in the car and you're on like mediums or hards especially, all of a sudden everything just is absolutely tragic. Like, I spun out around this right-hander which Kirsty is coming around now because I was gunning it, and then I realised I had to let off going around it, which is just ridiculous. Like, last game you could flat it no matter what, and this game if you flat it you're going to spin even if you don't touch the curb. There's so many little problems with this game, I think, which only came to light so much more for me when I've done this race.
Yeah, I've noticed there's an issue with track limits.
Yes.
Like I noticed it before. Hobo was going through the S's. I was on board with his teammate. Anthony right behind him, he picked up a penalty, but he still had two wheels on the track.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's a bit questionable. I had the same thing at Spain and in Austria, which was weird. So
there is sorry, Con's making a move across the team, making a mistake.
Crusher went wide, didn't slow down enough, and now he's on the outside here, and Cons is going to get the job done.
Obviously, there's a debate at the moment whether we're going to go to reduced or strict. Because obviously last season you could abuse the reduced quite heavily, or you could abuse the normal.
Yeah.
Whereas so we had to go on to the strict. This game, it feels like it's like strict and strict.
I don't think you can abuse this game as much. There's obviously be ways, but I think it's so it's. I mean, strict is savage, as it like you barely do anything. Like, and then like Gaz said, you can have two wheels on the track, and it will give you like track limits. It does seem a bit much.
Yeah, we'll have to probably debate that after this. There's a little battle going on now with Iceman, Shrew, and Frenzy. Go down the main straight, all using up all their overtake as they can. You can see them all flashing ahead of Frenzy. And at the moment, not much can be done. Frenzy's got a lot more overtake than these guys, though. He should be using it as he is now. Turns it on, DRS as well. But with Shrew's trade, it's going to be very difficult to overtake, even with the younger tyres. Oh. He nearly hits the back of him.
Oh, that was so close.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, little mistakes like that cost you a lot of time in
this. Yeah, especially through this sector as well. Like when you're stuck behind cars here, and then that happens. It's pretty savage, but Lee doing well so far. Getting a bit back-endy though, and it looks like Shree might be trying to attack, but this isn't. Is he going to try?
It really.
Or I think he's going to go try and get nice and tight here. Doesn't quite get it done, I think.
But he's got the DRS.
He has. Is he going to try and go down into?
Not close enough. Nearly close enough. This is where Jake earlier spun as well on this corner here. As Iceman did the same thing.
Every time people go on the curves, man, I just feel like your car's going to spin. As soon as I see people touch curves, I'm like, oh my god, they're round. But
yeah, that corner, the way Iceman nearly lost it. Anthony done it like 3 or 4 times today. Yeah. So
really.
I was watching him quite a few times on that corner, and he just seems to be losing. There's a bit of oversteer, but catches it quite a lot. But just happens sometimes.
Shrew going to get the job done this time. Oh, they're going 3 abreast here down into turn 1. Lee's lost out to Shrew and doesn't quite lose out to Frenzy. Frenzy's not quite have the straight line speed on him, but
I think
didn't quite take that too nicely there for turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, but it did look like Frenzy backed off a bit there because he realised it was 3 abreast and thought, no, I'll rather wait.
Yeah.
Which is a smart thing to do.
Like that. It was. I reckon he knows he probably has confidence in his pace. He's doing well defensively, but down that big back straight, there's not much you can do. Oh, I thought Frenzy was going to go really deep and collect Lee then, but kept going outside to the outside, so he didn't.
Yeah, it's
this is all going as well. Cons is catching up.
Yeah,
penalties could come into this game a lot as well.
Yeah, but we don't know which of these penalties are going to stand.
Yeah, because what we're going to do, we're going to open up for the first time ever. You can appeal the warnings if it's ridiculously bad, and then what we'll do, we'll view all the clips. If it is not a warning, for example, like you said, the 2-wheel on track thing, then it'll be probably tempted to just remove all penalties from this race, and then from future just race with the normal standards of corner karting.
Just make sure you have your race director and everything for this.
Frenzy makes his move onto. I just went a very quick move there. Had a lot of speed going down that straight. He's managed to catch up there with the back of Shrew.
Yeah, and now Cons is right on the back after all this fighting. Crusty T's been coming
Oh, he's spun! Well. Cons has spun!
Oh, Cons.
That's again as well. He's to catch up and he goes back to back.
That's unfortunate for now. So Crusty T's now been released, and he's about a second behind Lee now. Frenzy's catching up to the back of Shrew, and I mean Emir's kind of pulling him out front. The gap's now 3.5 to Big Weir. Flea's another 5 seconds back.
It's nice to have a Weir on the podium.
Yeah, it's just because you're not really getting there much now, are you?
No, not anymore. This new game takes me a few good races to come in.
Shrew went really wide then, like off my screen. I was like, what the hell?
He was off track for a long way down that straight. He's basically stayed off track so they didn't get triggered for track limit warning. I've got an X jam. I can't remember who that is. Who's commented?
Yeah, it's Freedom.
He goes, it's so annoying. Emir spams ERS and doesn't get punished because all the safety cars. It's like an online lobby sometimes. So I think it's
straight in.
So we've got.
Weir's crossed the line. He has won the race. Sorry about that. Weir's come second. Flea in third. Frenzy jumps up into fourth because of penalties. Shrew obviously out of this race will be taken out. Krusty T up into fifth. Sixth place was Iceman, and seventh place was Cons.
So 7 drivers at the end. I think we kind of expected that. Driver of the day from Codemaster saying Frenzy, but who would you go with, guys? Because I'm kind of tipping towards Big Weir because he pulled his socks up in qualifying. He was pretty low down at the beginning of qualifying, and then he's managed to pull off a good lap, and he's had a strong race. So I'm tipping towards him. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
He's a good shout.
Alright, so we're going to do interviews then, guys?
Yeah, we will.
Alright, I'll let you get them in, Hobo.
Yeah, 1 second. So there we go. Let's just quickly get these guys in.
So again, guys, running through all these drivers. So Emir taking the win today with Big Weir in second, Flea in third. Fantastic for those 3 drivers. Frenzy in fourth, Krusty T in fifth, Shrew in sixth. Obviously, he'd be taken out. So Iceman in sixth, and Cons in seventh. Obviously, Iceman did have that 5-second penalty that might get removed, so we don't know exactly what that'll bring him up. It'll bring him up just in front of Krusty T if it is actioned. Our DNFers, DXT Matty, Kingshome, Liam, Freedom, Umbra, Non-Human, Panda, obviously Neva, Anthony, Hobo, Nilma, and Dara. So a big congratulations to Flea being the DXT on the podium.
Yep. Congratulations to Jason for bringing a winner on the podium.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we're going to jump in straight away with our third place because who has joined us. Flea, how did that race go for you mate?
Just wow. I mean, you end up getting spun around from the broken wing, needing to pit, get through a spanner in the work spot. Fortunately, managed to make it work for us and gain the closest back. It was just, that was a great race though.
Well, you had some fantastic moves, absolutely brilliant decision making as well. We noticed that you backed out of some corners that looked a bit hazardous, which basically benefited you right through the race. So well done on that. Any questions to you guys?
Nah, I said it was. Make sure my light was on. No, it was a fantastic race for yourself, Flea. I saw you a lot of close battles with your ex-teammate Kingsholm. So that was a little. I bet you was having fun with that one. Did you? Were you in the parties together? That make sure you had enough room.
Yeah, me and Joe and Big Weir were in the party together, and it was brilliant. To be honest, I loved it.
So how was Joe after the accident? We did see a clip. We did see it on stream. It did look like it was a kind of unfortunate tanglement between him and the reserve driver, which took out a lot of other drivers with it. So I'm guessing Joe wasn't too happy about that.
Not really, but I kind of got tangled up in it as well. But fortunately enough, I managed to whip the car back around and get going like right away. To this day, I still have no idea how I do it. It's just like, something.
Anyway, fantastic race. Well done for your third place.
Thanks.
Absolutely brilliant. So we're going to go right across to our second place. Big Weir. Yeah, debut. Big Weir, absolutely fantastic performance. I'm going to go back to qualifying. You started off when your first run through qualifying, it was a bit low. Your timing was quite low, really, and then you pulled off a fantastic lap. Tell us about what did you have to change, apart from just the tyres, to make that big jump up into the higher places.
Honestly, I just kind of a habit of making a mess of my first lap. It's kind of just like a warm-up lap, I think it is. So I'd rather waste the mediums and then just, any mistakes I've made in the first lap, learn from it, and just go mental on the softs then. So yeah, it was kind of like a banker lap, and then just pushed crazy in the softs, and it just lucky enough it was quick enough, so put me in a good position for the race, so can't complain.
Absolutely brilliant. Now you've had some fantastic battles with many drivers, overtakes you've done on like Charu. You actually took Flea at one point that I thought was actually quite a nice little thing between you and him. Very, very graceful positioning from both of you as well on that one. Who would you say was the biggest battle you had today?
Biggest battle? Trying to keep up with Amir, probably. My setup wasn't. I knew my setup wasn't great on the mediums, so he was on the hards. I think at one point I was in pretty fresh mediums, but I just couldn't keep up the pace with him. So, no credit to Amir for that. Yeah, but yeah, probably Amir trying to keep up with him was just a struggle, I suppose, at the end. I thought I was doing okay, and then I realised he was obviously saving his ERS for a fastest lap attempt. So yeah, so credit to Amir. He's got a lot of pace behind him.
Absolutely. Any questions from you guys? How about Nevo?
Yeah, sorry, my mic was on mute. So, how did you find your first TTFL experience, Jason?
Well, yeah, it was a lot of safety cars, but yeah, it was a good race. It's actually only my second league race ever, so this is not a bad start, I suppose, is the way to put it. But yeah, no, it was just a great race.
Well, from all of us, welcome to the league, and congratulations on your second place, mate.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well done. So we'll go across to our race winner, Amir. Amir, you there, mate?
I'm here, mate.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, congratulations on your win. Right, qualifying, seeing a nice tight battle for pole position between you and Freedom. he just managed to pip it by, was it like a 1/10, or just less than 1/10? Was that the best you could do, or do you think you could have got a bit more time out of your car then?
I think I could have got a little bit more about, especially sector 1, as I think I was faster sector 2 and 3, but I was around 2/10 down sector 1. I don't know if it has something to do with ABS or whatever, but yeah, a better first corner, and I probably would have gotten a pole, but it worked out in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. But you kept your nose clean. You did really well. Some fantastic racing. I'll be honest, when you pushed your tyres a little bit longer than Amir and a little more than Freedom and Non-Human, and then you pitted under the safety car and dropped down a few places. Was that frustrating for yourself, or did you kind of expect that to happen?
I was kind of frustrating when I think the first safety car I just drove for the pits, so I couldn't get in the pits. But at the second stop, I think I actually came out second, but got overtaken on the safety car, what Iceman or whatever his name is. So I dropped down to third on new hards, and I would know that the mediums were probably still the fastest, because the hards need some laps before it gets in pace. So I was just trying to stay on with Freedom, and I can't actually remember what happened to him. I know Non-Human just threw it in the pit straight, trying to get into pit at the third safety car. But yeah, it worked okay with the second safety car.
Yeah, Freedom 1 was he decides to pit under the safety car, and he just dropped right down.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was doing well climbing back through, and then got caught up in a bit of a tango with Sharu and Kingsholm. So yeah, a bit of a messy part. So what's your expectations for the rest of the season? Do you expect to be getting a few more wins? Maybe winning the drivers'
Yeah,
championship?
definitely. I'm quite busy on Fridays, so I'm trying to make it to all the races I can. And if I attend a lot of races, I think I definitely have a good shot at the driver's title. So let's see. It's going to be exciting. There's a lot of fast guys in here, so yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, that was definitely a downfall last season, I think. They're missing out a lot of races there.
Yeah, definitely.
Any questions from you guys?
Yeah, so as we noticed as well, I mean, actually you're using a lot of overtake during the race. Obviously, it was helped by the fact you had safety cars. Is that going to be your tactic all the time? Because if you don't get a safety car, surely you're going to be running out of VRS very, very quickly.
No, definitely not. I think that the reason I was actually quite surprised of how much overtake I was using and how little I was gaining. But I noticed that there was a lot of safety cars. So I was like, okay, I just need to push. There's probably going to be a safety car in around 10 laps. So I just need to push and give everything I can for the next 10 laps and hope I can get a little break from the safety car to gain some overtake. But yeah, quite surprised with how much I actually used in this race.
Yeah, well done for your win. Obviously, you seem to be a bit of a Bahrain expert, so well done. Hopefully we'll see you next week as well for Spain.
Hopefully, I will be there, I think.
I would hope so. So yeah, thanks all very much for the drivers, for the winners. Congratulations, Amir, big winner, and Flea, absolutely fantastic driver from you three, as well as the other drivers who managed to finish the race. It was actually quite close at the end, so fantastic to see. Great start to the season. Fastest lap does go to Amir with a 1:27.4, which is a brilliant time. Although my screens tell me DXT Matty did a 20.1 lap.
Oh, extra problematic.
He's done this before, hasn't he? Singapore, was it?
Singapore, he did a sub-minute time, as well.
I was also actually on the last lap, or 2 laps before, I was trying to talk to Jeff to see what the fastest lap was, but he just said there's no data available. So I was like, okay.
That's probably why.
I'll just save up some ERS and try to give it a push on the last lap.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. So yeah, you do get fastest lap as well, so that's fantastic. Yeah, just thanks very much, guys, for jumping in. Herbo and Evo, it was great. Solo comms is a bit weird after so long of doing it with a co-commentator.
Anytime I DNF, I'll jump in.
Yeah, that would be great.
Every time.
Yeah, but fantastic. Great start to the season, can't wait. So guys, just remember, I'm going to throw up a little status and a little thing in the comments later on the Discord for you drivers to vote for your driver of the day, for the new Drivers Driver Award at the end of the season. Obviously commentators will get their choice as well, but I'll get that up there soon. So guys, thanks very much for joining me. Thanks again for the entertainment, drivers. We'll see you again this time next week at Spain. Good night.